Morning everybody, welcome back to Madness Manor on the it's Friday and I don't know what date it is. 25th, Friday the 25th of August. Bit of a sunny morning but quite autumnal. This video is about Nottinghamshire Madness channel, my channel, me, and how the channel came about, and I'm going to add another dimension to the channel which I'll talk about at the end. I hope it will be of interest to some of you, one of you. It's certainly of interest to me. And back to my channel, the reason I make my videos goes back to, I've had a YouTube channel for years, and I've, like most people, I've watched other people on YouTube, and I bought one of these cheap sports cams, which was rubbish, but I made some videos of me riding around on my bike, and a friend said, there's similar videos on YouTube, why don't you publish it? So I'd uploaded the video to YouTube to watch it on the television, and I said, no, it's stupid, nobody's interested in watching this. Anyway, similar videos of people riding a bike along a trail get a lot of views, and I thought, and comments, and it's actually the comments that interested me, the interaction with people. So I put some very poor, believe me, worse than this, very poor videos on YouTube, and they got a few views. I got some comments, particularly somebody had cycled down the Chesterfield Canal or something, and somebody had done something similar, and they sent me a message, and I sent them a message back. You know, it's a community thing. It's like, well, it's a social media thing, isn't it? It's but it's my personal social media outlet or inlet, I don't know. So then I got all my old mobile phones and uploaded all my little family snippets of crap video, from sitting outside pubs looking at a rump steak to looking at a boat out at sea. All those are on my YouTube channel, but they're kept private. They're for me to sit in my lounge at night, put them on and watch them. Just phone, video, scrap phone, bin, video gone. So just to retain that content. So that's sort of how the channel came about. But what is the channel going to be about? Well, I believe my life, I've got a story to tell. I think we've all got a story to tell, and I think we should all tell that story. Not for anybody else to look at, but because the story will be there for the prosperity of, until YouTube is taken over by some other medium of information channel that we don't use stuff like GoPros, phones or anything. You know, this 100 years time things will be different. This is, so in 100 years time this will be the equivalent of an old black and white silent movie, I guess. so I had to decide what my YouTube channel was going to consist of, because I want to communicate with you. You may not want to communicate with me, but if you're watching this, we are doing. So that's where, if you look in my description, I don't know my description, I wrote it at the time, and it's about me, my Nottinghamshire life, with Bromptons, bikes, horses, food, camping, cooking, my life. and it's evolved to where it is now, and I think the interaction I'm having with viewers is absolutely fantastic. I have set up a Facebook page on Facebook, Nottinghamshire Madness by Andrew Marshall, as a point of communication other than through YouTube. I also have my email address on there, which is nottinghamshiremadness@yahoo.com. because the interaction, I like the interaction. We're human beings, we interact with each other, and that's something that's probably getting lost in society, where we don't interact with each other on any great personal level. We just share snippets of other people on Facebook. It seems to what interaction is these days. Well, I'm 64 years old and grew up in a world where the only interaction you had was verbally, or as kids chucking stones at each other and fighting and running around and riding bikes and playing and gangs and, you know, child gangs. That's what interaction was when I was a 7-year-old. We've moved on from that. So the channel is my Nottinghamshire life. Part of me, part of my Nottinghamshire life, and I would like to share everything with you. I'd like to tell my story. I'd like to tell everything about me. Not in the bedroom. To be in the bedroom, to know what happens in the bedroom, you've got to be there, and to get through my bedroom door, you'd be lucky. Anyway, or no, I'd be lucky. I've lost my plot now, which isn't difficult at my age. Yeah, so another dimension. What's brought this? I'm going to do a series of videos because I'm fat. Now, I ain't got a problem with being fat. I haven't got a problem with other people being fat. What I do have a problem with is, in 2023, you can't say I'm fat because it's not politically correct. Well, you can say I'm fat because guess what? I'm fat. And I got accused of fat shaming last year. I'm fat. I got accused of fat shaming from somebody who is, without saying it, and I thought, what's happening in this world of ours where, and it's everything we have in society is to put other people back into a place. It's always been that. Governments have always kept us in place, whether it be Labour, Conservative, Lord such sleuth, raving lunatic party. It's all about keeping us in our place. Whether you're living in an oppressed state somewhere in the world, under an oppressive regime, or in the UK where it's free to speak. It used to be free to speak, it is free to speak, but our people around us, our level of society, pull you down for speaking. So, I'm fat. So I'm going to do a series of videos because I'm 64 years old, I'm rattling down the tunnel of life to the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've had a horrendously long tunnel of life, and the light has always been a whisker of what it is in the distance. And at 64 years old, there's things happen where I think, okay, no, that light's getting a bit bigger. COVID. I'd have been what, 62 then, guess, when COVID started. So 62 took 2 years out of my life. Well, 2 years out of your life at 62 is actually a good percentage of life left that you've lost. So obviously that tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel got bigger in COVID. Then I got COVID, and sharing my life with you on my YouTube channel. Then I got COVID, and I lay in bed one night. I had no idea what day it was, what time it was, anything. I know it was night because it was dark outside. It was March. It was last year or the year before. Anyway, I lay in bed and physically, mentally took my last breath of air. My whole body it was in absolute agony. I felt as though my joints were being pulled apart. I felt my flesh was being slashed. I felt my gut was being ripped open. I felt I'd got a ton weight on my chest, and I was in that much agony. I was lying in bed, and I believe in God. I was making peace with my Maker. I was thinking of things I've done which I probably should have done differently. I was thinking of things I've done and enjoyed. I was thinking of things I've yet to do, and was really I was lying there really pissed off that I haven't been and done them. Bucket list stuff. I was really pissed off that there's things I've not done, and thinking I'm going to meet in the afterlife that's beat me there. And I took my last breath, and I breathed in. I was in excruciating agony, and I breathed out, and I breathed every last ounce of air out of my body. I squeezed my lungs empty. It was actually squeezing my lungs empty from within. Didn't hurt. And that's the last thing I remember. Whether I passed out, I don't know, but I woke up in the morning. And I've woke up every morning since. I've woke up every morning since with a slightly different outlook on life. I've woke up every morning since thinking, right, we'll do something today. Because there's one morning I am not going to wake up. And that is the light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to keep that light at the end of the tunnel as far away from me as I possibly can. and this is something I've only thought about since having COVID, since that last breath. And I've thought about this every day. And I don't want to die. It never bothered me before. It did, like lying there in bed. I was quite happy to go. I was quite happy to go and meet my Maker. And but I don't want to. Not now. I certainly don't want to. Because I've got shitloads of stuff to do, and I keep adding to bucket list. So back to being fat. I've been watching a guy on YouTube. I've put a link on the Facebook group. Eddie Abubu. Anyway, he's a guy who's got a gym. He's a trained nurse. He's 60 years old. He talks on his channel in plain English, and you need to watch him to understand what he's saying. I'm not going to portray any fitness regimes. I've watched Eddie. I have understood, probably for the first time in my life, about dietary requirements, bodily requirements, body function requirements, and what is hurting me inside my body. So 10 days ago I weighed in at 240 pounds. This morning I've weighed in at 229.8 pounds, and all I've done is cut out sugar. I didn't eat sugar before. I don't add sugar. I do have a biscuit. I like a bit of cake. I've cut out sugar. I cut out sugar for about 5 days, and I was losing weight. The other thing, I've lost weight before. I used to enjoy. I love salad. I've loved salad for years. I love salad textures. I love the taste of different things in a salad. I've not enjoyed salad. I've hated salad. I've done salad because I know I love salad, and I can't eat it, so I don't like it. I'm throwing it away. And I believe that is because I was eating sugar, and I wasn't eating sugar, but I was eating sugar hidden in food. Watching Eddie, all this has come clear. So I shan't go to the ins and outs of it. but I've followed what he said on his dietary requirements. Totally cut out sugar. Well, I had, because I didn't take sugar, so I've stopped eating biscuits. I don't have any cake. I don't have chocolate, no chocolate, no nothing. And I lost weight. For morning breakfast, I was having a bacon sandwich. Then watching his video again, because you can't understand it in one shot. Watching his video again, my bread's full of sugar and glue, which I guess we know about, and grain that isn't grain anymore, because it's been through a process of becoming bread, which is becoming sugar within my body. So trying to grasping what he said. He speaks in plain English, and that's what's made it easy to grasp. So I'm following Eddie. I'll put a link to his video on this one if I can, or one of his videos. I've lost £10 in 10 days. I've got a lot to lose. Percentage wise, it's not a lot, but now this could all be in my head, psychological. And 10 days later, I'm feeling different. I'm feeling more virile. If that's in my head, great. Feeling more virile. Feeling more not wanting an afternoon nap. It's hard to pinpoint how I'm feeling. I'm feeling my shorts slipping off, so I've lost some weight from the gut, and my poo is. I've always looked at my poo. We were at college. Health and safety and health and well-being of your person at college in 1977. I was taught about personal health, personal hygiene. It's all part of training, apprenticeship, and one of the things you were taught was, you know, you go for piddle, and whilst having a piddle, you see what colour it is, and the easiest way to see what colour your piddle is against the background of white porcelain. So every time I go for piddle, I'll see what colour it is, and if it's yellow, you need to get some fluids, or you've something wrong. I've always eaten a healthy-ish diet. Going in Tesco's last week, I started, after seeing what Eddie had said, listening to what Eddie had said, I was looking at the back of Simple Foods, finest. I was going to buy some. I eat ham. Tesco finest ham. I was looking at the thing, and it was 2 packets for £5 or something like that. And I thought, oh, for 5, I may as well buy a gammon joint and wang it in the stove cooker, have a bit of a meal off it, and then slice it for ham. So I picked up one of these vacuum packed, you know, the vacuum pack this stuff to keep it fresh. And my belief of what should be in ham is cured ham. It'll have salt, and it'll have pork. And there's a list of ingredients on the back in ham. There's some OSAs of sugars, glucose, all by OSAs. So I went back round to the 2 for £5 finest, and it's the same. This is bloody dry cured Wiltshire quality finest ham. Anyhow, I picked up some sliced beef, and the beef has in the ingredients beef and salt. So I'm having beef salads instead of ham salads. So I'm doing my shopping in Tesco. I'm trying to avoid my carbs now. By now I've stopped eating bread. There's a picture of my breakfast this morning on my Facebook group. I've stopped eating bread and carbs. I'm going to still go back. I will be having bread, but at the minute, let's put a concrete wall in front of what I shouldn't be eating or what I've got to eat in moderation. Put a concrete wall there. Get my body into that change of scene of I'm not feeding in. I'm not having to create extra insulin and the cravings. I didn't have a craving for carbs actually the other day. I did say to Jane, I said, this is the first day I've not craved carbs. So things have changed. So I'm doing my shopping in Tesco. Read the ingredients. Read the ingredients on basic packaged products. That is mind blowing. That is absolutely. When did all this happen? When did the food industry decide we need to eat fake man-produced additives? So that scared me. So I'm going to do a series of videos on not being as fat today as I was yesterday, if that makes sense. Because that's what my channel's about. It's not just about bikes, it's not just about camping, it's about me and my life. So please have a follow of my life. Please interact with me and interact amongst yourselves on the Facebook group. And if you've got videos on your phone, put them onto your YouTube channel and keep them private. And if you've got a video on your phone that may have some remote interest, you've taken the video initially and you may have put it on Facebook or something, put it on YouTube. Make it public, just to see if anybody watches it. Do an experiment. So that's all I've got to say today. I'm sorry I've rambled on. Once again, if you're still here, good on you. And please give me a thumbs up, please give me a like, please do all that crap. Please send me a message on either platform. Please subscribe and please drop back in and see me again. And I will probably be a day or two slimmer. Thanks for watching, guys.